Another beautiful day to be here on the program Perspective, reaching you from OSRC Television. It is a beautiful day, as I said, because you know what it is? Today is Friday, and of course, we are in December, and the deeper we go into the month, the closer we get to that beautiful time, Christmas, the time everybody looks forward to. It's a lot of people are excited about that very event. The children, adults alike, it's a time of the year that we all look forward to. And so I am excited that, okay, as the day rolls by, as the month goes by, we are getting closer to Christmas. And this is a very, very first edition of the program in December this year. Today's 5th, I guess so. This is the first edition in December. So it's appropriate for me to say Happy New Month to you out there. And how are you looking forward to this this year's Christmas? I know I am looking forward to it. I said it before. I know you're looking forward to it. There is this song that playing in my head right now, the song by Funke Akindele and the group of artists. You go judge your love tire, that kind of a thing. But I would say, if you don't get, don't stress yourself. You see, we can do it in a very minimal way. Somebody might say, it's too early to talk about Christmas. It's not early. The earlier you plan, the better for you. And then that also means that a new year is approaching. 2026 is beckoning, knocking on our door. Welcome to the program Perspectives from OSRC Television. My name is Remy Allen, and I've got, and I'm not always alone on the show. I can't do it alone. I've got my dependable partners, my sweet sisters, my delectable ones. Let me start with I so sad. Oyibo Pepe.
Good morning.
Radio Pepperoni. And the lady that named you that
she's on the show. Yes. Good morning. Happy New Month, because it's the first Friday that we're on Perspective for the month. And then Happy Christmas in advance. It's not too early. But although I still feel like this year actually came by, it ran. Because when did we say Happy New Year, and now we are actually saying Happy Christmas again? Well, I just want to thank God for everything. The fact that we started this year with a lot of people, although some of them are not going to be part of us to celebrate this Christmas, but we are still celebrating, and those people that still followed us back to December, I'm just grateful for all of us. So yes.
It's good to be grateful for a new day, a new month, a new year. Every time of the day that you wake up and you see the breaking of a new day, you just have to be grateful. I'm sure Atilayo, Akinfolarin, it's ever grateful.
Yes.
You know one thing that gets me? I used to tell some people, I said, if I be man, sorry I'm going to say this. Okay. I go to deal with people who get this.
Oh my God. There you go again. Remy, good morning to you. I said, how are you doing?
I'm very fine. Thank you.
It's the weekend, right? And well, I say every day is Christmas for me, but I'm so particular about, we in the last month of the year, 2025. Yes, it's exciting to know that. But then Christmas, every day is Christmas. We are thankful for today, and it's another weekend. Today is before us. I hope you will make it count. Good morning, one and all. It feels so good to be here again. Yes, Remy, we've got a lot today.
Yes, quite a lot today. Good morning once again. Let's talk about our environment a little bit. For me, I think Akure is looking up, sweet. Very soon you see all the beautiful Christmas lights
here and there, the decorations.
Yes, and I'm sure that a lot of people are. That thing will sell this year because people are looking at the fact that they need to get those things to decorate their homes, to make the Christmas sweet and more beautiful. But on those states, aside the decoration that will come for Christmas, there are a lot of things happening right now in those states.
Yes,
more street lights. Some times ago, that was last month, I went home, and that's Ifon. A lot of people are always scared when I mention that place. That's why I was so scared. I remember.
Of course, of course.
When I was going to bury my mom.
Of course.
A lot of people were scared, and that's because the security in that area is high. But recently I was at home, and the whole place was lit up at night.
Yeah.
The solar lights. You know, I know we've been complaining in the front that we don't have anything. You know, the government is not looking our way and all that, but it's so beautiful. And we're having such in Ondo State and Akure that we are in right now. Everywhere is adorned with
the aesthetics.
the aesthetics.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. And we have the traffic lights there. Yes, a little touch here and there. Ondo State, we are getting there. We are getting there. And we hope to see more, even after the festive season. We hope to see more. It's a beautiful one, and it is laudable. You know, it's commendable. Yeah, we should give kudos to the government. Yes, doing all of this. Not just the governor alone, because he has people around him. Yes, doing this.
To the team.
You know, I'm particular about the solar light, the street light, because especially people that use the road at night. I, for example, maybe from work, I get to drive late home, and then it has been much more easier to like drive at night, because now you're not struggling with, oh, you can't see the cars coming, you can't see the cars behind you. But now with the street lights, you barely even feel like you're driving at night. You just get to your home safely, and it's really commendable, honestly.
Very commendable. All right, so before we eat deep into the program, let me let you know what we have, our usuals. We'll start with the newspaper review, the daily, taking stories from our national dailies. And of course, we'll take our focus for the day and trending stories. So quite a lot for you there today. Let's take a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll dive straight to the program proper. Stay with us. History perspectives, and going straight to the national dailies today, taking headlines from there. I'm starting with the Nation newspaper. This headline says economic climate now right, says Edun Dangote Uzodima. And here is a rider to it. Boris Johnson, Kimun, Bukai, others Lord Nigeria's progress. That's Ban Ki-moon, Lord Nigeria's progress. You can find the details. Okay, the page is not mentioned here, but flip through the dailies, and of course you find it. Okay, you can. They started on page 1 of the Nation newspaper. Of course, you continue on page 2 to get the full story of that headline. Also, Army communities dangerous. That's coming from Kuka ones. And here is the rider. Ribado we will defeat terror. I like that emphatic way it was said. We will defeat terror. Judge turns down request for Kano's relocation from Sokoto. You find that on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Appeal court seals order barring VIO from stopping impounding vehicles on highways. That's on page 4. Appeal courts seek orders barring VIO from stopping or impounding vehicles. That's on the lips of a lot of people right now. Also, we have repayment of 185 billion naira gas legacy debts begins. You find the details on page 7. Also, PSC kickstarts recruitment of 50,000 policemen. Page 4 also has the details of that story. I'm kind of excited about that, especially as the president has given the order that more policemen should be recruited. President nominates Ibas, Enad, Chioma Oakim, Dambazu as ambassadors. That's adding to the original list we have, making a total of 68 now. You can find that story on page 3. All right, Isisa.
Okay, moving on to the Vanguard newspaper, we have this screaming headline, just like you read from the other one, says, "We will defeat terror, restore order, peace." And it's coming from the defense minister and the NSA. And there's a rider to it that says, "Terrorists need to be flushed out. Kuka tells minister." Kwawa monarch still with bandits, says community. 5 abducted Rivers students regain freedom. Details of that is on page 5. Banks' insurance contribution to economy falls 15% to 1.51 trillion naira. More of that is on page 20. Appeal court affirms judgments barring VIOs from seizing vehicles, imposing fines. That's on page 7. President nominates Abbas, Dambazu, and 63 others as ambassadors. That's on page 8. The Indigbo's most significant stakeholders in the Nigeria project. That's coming from Tinubu, and more of that story is on page 11. And I think that's all we have from the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay.
All right. Yes, getting down to the Punch newspaper. The big deal there says Tinubu's 65 envoy picks brace for Senate storm. And the writer says, ex-River administrator, 30 politicians, others make list, Senate to screen list in 1 week. And we've got another one on page 41, Nigeria must protect democracy as the hell faces coup. And that's coming from Ribadu. Okay, Immigration Comptroller General visits Kebbi, vows justice after checkpoint attack. Federal government sets December 20 deadline to pay contractors. You can find that on page 29. VIO heads to Supreme Court after losing vehicle impoundment appeal. Find out on page 41. Senate orders nationwide crackdown as lead poisoning hits Lagos. Okay. PTAD monthly payout to retirees soars to 1 trillion naira. Find out on page 27. All right. A newly sworn in defense minister declares war on kidnappers. And that's all we've got for you on the Punch newspaper. Moving on.
All right. Moving to the Nigerian Tribune. Okay. And the headline here, the big story on the Nigerian Tribune is Ribadu Musa Kuka upbeats about end to terrorism. You can find the details on page 2 of that story. And we have some riders, terrorism, banditry to end soon. That's coming from NSA. Nigerians can now sleep with eyes closed. That's coming from Musa, the new defense minister. And the defense portfolio now in very good hands. That's coming from Kuka. Also, patients alleges organ harvesting in hospitals. Ekiti government begins probe. Is a writer, ex-NMA president Faduyile Heads Committee. Page 26 as the full story to that headline. Suspected gunmen kidnap APC chieftain Uriade in Ibadan. And here's a writer, APC leadership, other stakeholders express concern. That the details on page 24. Tinubu names Ibas, Dambazu, Sulugambari, Enag as ambassadors. You can find that also on page 6. Here's a writer, increases nominees to 68. 6 Senate's confirmation. All right. List of overtime cargo for condemnation domiciled at Apapa. All right. Oh, I think that's okay. I also have this. Appeal court bars VIOs from impounding vehicles, imposing fines. That's on page 26. Exodus of oil workers looms. Pengerson warns. I beg, may they not go. Make sure no go up again. You can find the details on page 6. Atiku faults Tinubu's nomination of former INEC chair for ambassadorial position. You can find that on page 25. All right, I guess you'll take the last one.
Yes, moving to the Guardian newspaper. Our stigma, poor treatment, funding Obo, HIV/AIDS rollback. That's a big story, and it's on page 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. The defense minister vows swift gains as NSA wants enemies. Labour talks tough. We have you behave more like political candidate than president. ADC tells Tinubu. I guess ADCs, they are back on our dailies because we've not heard from them for quite some time now. Yeah. Yes, so I guess they are back. This other one says Tinubu nominates Ibas, Su and others for ambassadors. Then the reps defer constitution review. Defer constitution review. Debate for wilder consultation. That's on page 3. Nasawara to prosecute parents of out-of-school children. That's on page 30. What's your thought on that? I don't see why you should prosecute parents of out-of-school children. I think what we are very quick to prosecute. Very quick to give penalties instead of trying to fix the problem. I think the first thing should be, what can we do to fix the problem? And if the problem has already been fixed and we still see that this same thing that has already been fixed is still looming around, then you can say, oh, now we are going to propose a penalty for these people. So I don't know. I think that's something they need to. They are just so quick with penalties. Try to fix the problem.
The parents? That's what I don't.
That's the thing. Of course, they can't persecute children. So the parents. That's what I said. Even instead of persecuting the parents, why don't you try and see what are the challenges?
Well. At the end of the day, really, parents can also be involved at this time because we know there are challenges.
Yes.
Like you said, the root cause. Of course, it's not as if we are parents. Oh, we say I'd
rather keep my children at home.
But it is it's not as much as
the ones that are being conditioned by poverty or low source of income.
You got that.
That's correct.
So a lot is more on poverty. You know, a parent that is poor and that can barely feed the children, you're asking them to go and to take them to school. And when it has been said over and over again that primary education should be free, we still have quite a lot of people schools.
And what is the government doing to support them, to keep them in school? Yes.
You know? And also to parents, it has gotten to the time. In fact, it's been said quite a long time that give birth to the number of children
you can train. Yeah,
we know that in the north, it's not the case. It's not. The case is not like
it's
that.
Not like that.
You know, the northerners, they have. We know they are rich when it comes to number of children and all that. And I think parents should learn to.
Remy, I think it's about their culture. You know, they come from they're coming from this background where if you don't have, you go to the next store and beg for whatever, and yes, go to the nearest rich man, buy your living next to you, and you know that's it. So I think that is making them have children, just like.
And then we have a lot of almajiris around the constituency.
So yeah, I think when they fix the problem, then they can actually say that they can maybe probably penalize people that their children are out of school and just roaming about. Okay, lastly, we have the MASSOB decries Igbo politicians' silence on Kanu's ordeal. That's on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper, and that's the last story.
All right.
Okay, that's the last story. You know, we spoke recently about the issue of the out-of-school children and the fact that, you know, in the North, they love to have a lot of children, believing that, you know, Allah will
provide
for them. So that's why it's really difficult to get it out. Okay, let's take a short break. When we come back, we will go to our focus for today, and we'll be joined on via telephone guest who will shed more light on our topic of discourse today. We're looking at the ambassadorial list released by the president. We know that I think three of them have been screened already, so we still have a long list of about 65 to go. We have additional names added as at yesterday, new names, and that's where Ibas come in, Dambazu, and others came into that list. So a whole long list, and the Senate have about a week or so to make sure that all of the nominees go through screening, and if possible, they become our ambassador. And of course, we'll know their portfolio, where are they going to be representing us and all of that. So let's take a short break. We'll be back after now. Osrc television, and as I said earlier, we'll be going to our focus for today, and it's about the ambassadorial nominees submitted to the Senate by the President. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded to the Senate a request for the confirmation of 65, now 68 ambassadorial nominees comprising 34 career ambassadors and 31 non-career ambassadors and high commissioners, including the 3 that was added yesterday. The letter conveying the request was read on the floor of the Senate by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and we know that the screening already started. 3 of them have been screened. We are being joined today on the program by Akinwumi Abodunde, a public analyst who will help us make sense of this ambassadorial nominees, because of course a lot of talks have been going around regarding the ambassadorial nominees. We remember during when we were taking our newspaper review, we also mentioned the fact that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also had his reservations regarding the nominees, especially that of the former INEC chairman, Mahmood Yakubu. So, Akinwumi, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Remy, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, great man amongst women.
It's exciting to be amongst women, especially beautiful ones.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us, in your overview, this appointment, these people nominated as ambassadors. So what's your take?
Okay, I will not do my analysis based on individuals.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people pick out individuals, and say this about them, that about them. No, I won't do that.
Okay.
But I'll go to some very, very critical issues. Let me first of all congratulate Nigeria for taking this decision. It is shocking that 2 years into the Tinubu administration, or more than 2 years, we are just beginning to appoint ambassadors, high commissioners, and all of that. Yes, I know that the embassies and high commissions are functioning because they are charged the affairs and all of that in the commission. But the reality is that for every organization, there must be a political head who actually ensures that the political will of the administration is achieved. So you can't run an embassy or a high commission without a chief executive, so to speak, either ambassador or high commissioner. So, but more importantly is that it took Trump to scare Nigeria. Because that's what they did. We have been, a lot of commentaries had been on about 2 issues. 1, security. 2, the manning of our high commissions and our foreign missions. Anyway, let me just put it as foreign missions. Now, it took Trump to scare us to do the needful in the area of security. Take action. Thank you. That's the word. Take action. A few days ago, I saw the president tweet that he was holding security meetings with all the security chiefs. Just before that, he had to rejig the security architecture and all of that. These are things that we had been talking about for months, for years, that hadn't been done. So for me, it was personally embarrassing that it took the president of the United States of America to get us to take action. But okay. We have eventually decided to take action. So, but let me also state this. The problem of Nigeria are 2 people. The elders of this nation are not telling the president the truth. Secondly, the people around him are lying to him about too many things. The president is like a prisoner. He's boxed in Osrc. He can't hear much. Yes. He relies essentially on what he is told.
He's given.
But the elders of this nation are lying to him for pecuniary gains. After all, the Yoruba say,
Where are the others?
What's the quality of elders that we have in our nation? But let's leave that. Let's now come to the ambassadorial list. Okay. Let me be frank with you. There will be so many mistakes on that list. Because it was done in a hurry. It was done in a hurry. Now, I don't have any moral right to say this person is qualified, that person is qualified. No, I don't have any moral right to say that. But as a Nigerian, I have a stake. And so I'm going to speak from the position of a Nigerian who has a stake. There are some of them who we know do not have the capacity to do it. There are some of them, look, the fact that you can make noise does not make you a good envoy. As a matter of fact, that's why it's called diplomacy. The key word for the foreign mission is diplomacy. Some of them are rash, brash, very uncouth. You can't expect such people to do a good job. I'm on a WhatsApp group and there was a joke. Someone said, so person and so person, they should be posted to America. That they will tame Trump. And my answer was, okay, that will be the last that they will do. Because you will go to America and talk anyhow to Trump. Even the Americans who don't like their president will come for your head quickly. You will be sent away with ignominy.
He's not like Nigeria.
Even if it's Nigeria, can you talk to the Nigerian president as an ambassador or ambassador to Nigeria, or high commissioner? Can you talk to the president of Nigeria anyhow? Qatar America? No, you can't do that. So for me, there will be a lot of mistakes. I know that gradually we'll correct those mistakes. Some of them will be fired and brought back home eventually. That's what I see. I may be wrong, I may be correct, but some of them will have to come back home because some of them don't have the capacity. Okay. Now, so essentially, I wish Nigeria well with its foreign missions. I know that probably what the president was considering initially was the cost of funding the ambassadors and high commissioners. But the truth of the matter is that Nigeria has a lot of money.
And we keep borrowing.
Don't let's go to that because that's another matter. It's embarrassing that we keep borrowing after we had met our budget target as at 3 months ago. But yes, we are still going to the National Assembly to borrow money. But let's leave that. That's not for today. Let's talk about this foreign mission. So, okay, so what are we expecting from the ambassadors and high commissioners?
Yes.
Okay. Nigeria's image is battered.
Already.
That's the truth. Let us not pretend. I don't like pretending. A lot of people pretend with what things they say. I don't like it. Our image is poor. Let me tell you something that happened last year. At the meeting of the African CEOs in Rwanda, in Kigali, Rwanda, the CEO of Total Energies spoke. And he said something that really hurt me. But I know of course, he was telling the truth. He said that Total Energies was intended to put a $5 billion project in Nigeria, but that the company had decided to take it to Angola. Angola. And how? Angola. Now, do you know the implication of that? He was simply saying that because the business climate in Nigeria is not stable. Now, the implication of that is simple. One, that we are not running the proper economy. Two, that then it meant that Angola was going to benefit. Jobs will be created and so many things. Infrastructure will be built and all of that. Now, that tells you a lot. Immediately after him, Aliko Dangote, who is a Nigerian anyway, then spoke and said that the problem with Nigeria is that with the economy of Nigeria, that when we move 2 steps forward, we move 5 steps backwards. That tells you a lot. So on the economy platform, our image is very poor. Let's go to security, which of course is key to investment opportunities coming into Nigeria. So our ambassadors have a lot of work to do. First of all, to actually try to change the narrative. Don't also forget that there's so much that the charge d'affaires can do. They are not appointed to be ambassadors, to represent. They cannot be called His Excellency or High Excellency. So that tells you a lot. So there's a limit to the conversation that the heads of government of other countries where they are can have with them. So that's the problem. But now that we have ambassadors, it will be easier for ambassadors, because when you are appointed as an ambassador, when you get to that country, you submit your letter of credence to the president of the country directly. So that is admitting you into their country. So they activate their relationship. What happens is this: when you are appointed, you arrive, you go to the president, you submit your letter. That is the transition of acceptance of your embassy or high commission in their country. That is the process of activating conversation. So now conversations can be activated. But having looked at some of the names on those on that list, 3 lists have come. No, 4, in fact, 4. First of all, we had 3.
Yes.
Then we had 20 something. Then we had another 3.
Yes.
Then we had another 30 that something. So, well, some of the names on those lists are, in my opinion, well, somehow. But let's just wish Nigeria well.
You know, that brings me to the question, what are the criteria for actually nominating or selecting these people? Because, or are they just picking at random with maybe how I feel like?
Okay.
Are they criteria? Because now we're talking about the people on the list. If the people on the list meet the criteria, then I don't think we should have something
so much noise.
Yes.
Yes, and let me add to her question, because let me ref this particular person, Reno Mokri, in that list, on that list rather. And, Reno, we've known him to be, he's been opposing the government since a while, and now we have him there. Is this some way, because some people have said that on social media handles, some citizens, that perhaps it's a way of, buying them over, and so that, that spotlight can can leave. And
I said initially, I said I don't want to mention names.
But
since you have mentioned names, then I'll talk about it. But let me answer your question first. The appointment of ambassadors is the prerogative of the president. It can be the president's friend. It can be anybody.
Either good or
bad. Let me give you an example. There's a name on that list. It's a woman. I'm sure that she's apparently a commissioner in a state in the southwest. But she's the sister of somebody who is also in government. Okay? Now, I'm almost too sure that was what qualified her to be an ambassador. How can you do that? But okay. I can, as a president, I can wake up and say, the 4 of you are my ambassadors, and I'll send you. If anybody wants to kill me, because you're my friends. Okay? Yes, I can do that. Because the appointment is the prerogative of the president.
So it doesn't have
any laid down
criteria.
The only thing is that you must not be a criminal.
But there are some people on that list who have been involved in court case, scandalous.
Have they been convicted? No. Until you are convicted, you are presumed to be innocent. So you can't deal with that until a court of competent jurisdiction says you are guilty and sends you to jail. That's it.
Then should this not be reviewed? Because whatever they do out there, in some way has a way of,
no, get the brunt. I said earlier. Okay, so let me say this. I said earlier that some of them will be fired eventually.
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay. We'll sift the grain from the chaff very, very soon.
Did you say some of them will be fired when we've had, cases in the past that people like this in government, in power, do things and get away with it?
Don't worry. It's not that the president himself will fire them.
Okay.
Don't worry. They are going to represent Nigeria in countries that are sane. So don't mind. The systems of those countries will send them away, or except they change.
Okay. And while you were talking earlier, you said something about people around the president lying to him.
Yes.
Should the president rely on certain people, set of people for information? Should the president rely on just one source of
information? So this is the way it is. Every government,
as a
president or a governor, there are 4 categories of people who will be in your government. There's nothing you can do about it. Category 1 are those who are in your government to make money. Most of them will steal. 2, category 2, some of them are there to make name, to further their politicalness, not necessarily because of money.
Okay.
Category 3 are those who want you to succeed, definitely.
Or genuine.
But category 4 are those who are planted to destroy your government.
Wow.
So
there's nothing you can do about it as a leader. Though they will be there. But you won't know. They will come in surreptitiously. And so this is the point. Now, it takes you as a president or a governor to be able to actually, and that's why intelligent people need to be governor and president.
Yes.
That's the truth.
I agree with you.
Otherwise, you won't be able to actually say, okay, after watching this fellow for a while, this is what he actually intends. This is his intention. But let me go back to your question. Okay, I was concluding my thoughts on your question.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have any criminal record, the president can appoint you. Okay? Yeah. That is the truth of the matter. And that's why many times governors and presidents have the problem of appointing their friends only into government.
And so it's good to say that loyalists as well.
Exactly, loyalists. Okay, let us use the word loyalists, even though it may not be correct. Your question was, sorry.
Yes, you've answered it. You've answered the question.
Yes.
Okay, you are talking about the categories of people in
yes. And
you mentioned Reno. Let me tell you something. Reno is a serial liar. He just, everything he says is to actually, when he was with Atiku, he said Atiku was God. After Atiku left government, he went to, it was Jonathan first. He was with Jonathan. So he said Jonathan was his God. Later, Jonathan left government. He tabernacled with Atiku, hoping that Atiku would win. Yeah. Then he said Atiku was his God, that he was God over everything. Now that Atiku lost the election, he decided to tabernacle with Tinubu. He said Tinubu is God. So what is the problem now? You already know the quality of person.
Exactly, and
it doesn't matter.
That's my problem. That's where.
Let us hope.
That's my POV. Okay. Okay.
Let us hope that they will do well in this approach. But it's okay. Human beings have different characters.
Yes. He said he has a forgiving spirit. Reno, he says the president sought him forgiveness. So it's okay for you to accept. But now let's look at the nominees. Do you feel that they represent a fair balance across geopolitical zones?
Well, yes, because there's no geopolitical zone that is not represented. Now, it's not possible for all the geopolitical zones to have the same number. It's not likely. Because don't forget, appointment is about loyalty.
Yes.
Now, the president has loyalists across all geopolitical zones.
Yes.
But there are more in some geopolitical zones
than the others.
For instance, if you look at the 2023 general election, the presidential election, it was the North that actually brought Tinubu to government. That's the truth. It was not the Southwest. Okay, so now I'm sure that he's torn between actually compensating them for bringing him into government and actually satisfying his own people.
Tribe.
Because the president, there are 6 states in the Southwest. The president lost in 3. So if you look at it, he lost in his own state, Lagos. He lost there. So the truth of the matter is that I'm sure he's torn between satisfying geopolitical zones. But I think that when I looked at the list, for me, it's a fair representation of geopolitical zones. Don't also forget that in everything the president does, there is 2027 in it.
Yes.
So he's trying to consolidate regions. He's trying to consolidate the Southwest, where he lost woefully in 2023. And he's trying to say, Emi Omoyini, Emi Mode, She Dada for him. She Tony Dibu for me, but about 2027 by today. So he's trying to do that. And so, yes, there are a good number of people, even in his cabinet as minister, who are Yorubas. But it's okay. He's a Yoruba man, so you can't take that away from him. There's sentiment in everything we do.
All right, because by 10 we'll go to the newsroom to take the developing stories. But then people are already charging these nominees on 3 key areas, 3 C's of competence, of credibility, of character. What says you here? Are you sure those people will be able to deliver on this?
Competence, remove it. Which one is competence? Look, let me tell you something.
Are you saying All few of them.
Listen, let me tell you something about competence. Which of them has been an ambassador before?
So
competence to do what? Now, what? No, wait. No, that's not the point I'm making. So you can only. That's why there are embassies. The ambassadors and high commissioners will not be the only representatives of the country in that country. So he will be it's like coming to Osrc now.
Yeah.
The DJ cannot know everything.
Yeah.
In fact, he's going to know so little.
Yes.
You understand? But he needs directors, heads of departments, program producers to actually support him to succeed. So the charge d'affaires, all the embassy staff and all of that will help them to succeed. So let's leave competence. Over time, they will get used to. Don't also forget, every country has its peculiarity. So what we should actually lean on are the two others: credibility and character.
Okay.
Character.
So let's get down to credibility.
So let's look at credibility. Well, credibility is neither here nor there. Because the truth of the matter is that we are all human beings. We all make our mistakes and all of that. Even though some people make mistakes every time, deliberately. But deliberately. But because usually at he is a problem.
Yeah.
So, but the truth of the matter is that, yes, let us look at credibility. If you look at some of the names, I saw the batch of three that came yesterday. Dambazau, and a few others. I've seen the former INEC commissioner. I know that when you said Atiku Abubakar criticized the nomination of Mahmoud Yakubu, yes, it's understandable because it now looks like the president is paying him for actually making him win the election. If I was a politician, I would say the same thing. I would say the same thing. That's the truth. I would feel the same way.
So we don't have people again, except from the same set of people.
No,
on that one, look, every Nigerian should just be crying. Because since 1960, we have recycled the same set of people. Since 1960, Nigeria has recycled the same set of people in government. It is that this person is this person's son, this person's daughter, this person's uncle, this person's aunt, this person's business partner. They are replacing themselves with. Look, it is shameful. So that's why when they say the youths are the leaders of tomorrow, I say, what's the meaning of that? Which youth? They will grow old and go to their graves and become nothing, except they take their stand. Okay, so credibility. Well, some of them have administrative records that are worth celebrating. Okay. Some of them. And well, for instance, Mahmoud Yakubu deserves some accolades because of his performance when Urubebe decided. No, okay, it was Jega that Urubebe actually attacked. Okay, but when you look at the way he managed INEC, he introduced new reforms. He did a few things.
At the same time,
let's take a pause here to hit the newsroom as we bring up developing stories. Please stick around.
Hello and welcome to Developing Stories. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. The Ondo State Radiovision Corporation, Osrc Television, has reaffirmed its commitment to sharpening staff competence and raising the bar of professional broadcast delivery through a renewed focus on training. At a one-day in-house training for newscasters, on-air personalities and program presenters, Director General of the Osrc Media Group, Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, said the initiative signals a new phase of knowledge upgrade within the organization. Blessing Obe tells us more.
Regular training has been identified as a key factor in improving staff performance. To sharpen presentation skills, Ondo State Radiovision Corporation, Osrc, organized an in-house training for its casters and presenters. The program aims to build staff capacity and equip them with the knowledge required to excel on the job. Director General, Osrc, Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, described the training as a new phase of professional development, noting that Osrc is investing deliberately in human capacity to meet and surpass global broadcasting standards.
Today, we embark on a transformative journey, equipping our team with the skills and knowledge necessary to excel in the dynamic world of news and current affairs and program productions. Our topics today: announcing and presentation skills, rudiment of newscasting, and mastering the art of comparing an event's commentary, are designed to empower our team with the expertise to inform, engage, and inspire audiences. As leaders in the media industry and in India media landscape, we recognize the importance of continuous learning and professional development. This training is a demonstration of our dedication to nurturing talent and fostering the culture of excellence. I'm confident that this initiative will not only enhance our skills, but also inspires new ideas and perspectives, ultimately contributing to the growth and the success of our Osrc Media Group.
The in-house training features 3 seasoned broadcast professionals: Director of Programs, Sunshine 96.5 FM, Alalaye, Bukola Ogunkwa; Director of News and Current Affairs, Orange 94.5 FM, Adebimpe Akindele; and renowned compere, Kemi Adeniyi. They took staff members through modules on presentation skills, news delivery, and comparing techniques.
Your voice communicates far more than words. Great presenters use technique and practice to sound both natural and in control. This module will help you to discover how to manage breathing, diction, vocal tone, and how to engage audience dynamically. Be natural, don't mimic others. Be genuine, be adaptable. Mistakes happen.
As a presenter, it is worthy of note that you can also anchor programs. If you have an information with you, is it newsworthy? Is it something that must go on air? You have to think about it. Interviewing of guests, newsmakers, or experts of particular fields, documentaries and reports, these are the quality or what duties of a news presenter. You can report live from the scene or studio. That's what we call stand-upper.
Anytime you have to go on stage to compare events, especially corporate events, because I know majority of my audience this afternoon would have to compare corporate events. Always have a wardrobe backup. Ensure that you step out every single time you have an assignment to carry out with a wardrobe backup. Have a niche for yourself. Ensure you render premium service. Your valued target audience would always look for you. If you know you can't afford to stay in Marriott hotels, you'll get a hotel that you can afford, isn't it? And so if Kimo charges ₦1 million and you want a compare to pay 30K, you know who to call. They won't call you. And so please ensure that you hone your skills, you believe so much in your brand, and you work around it.
The training also featured interactive sessions and practical demonstrations. Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation says it will continue to prioritize staff training and retraining as part of its drive to compete with global broadcasting organizations. Blessing Obe, OSRC News.
President Bola Tinubu's 65 ambassadorial nominees will face rigorous Senate grilling next week as part of their confirmation process. 3 notable opposition senators who spoke on condition of anonymity said the screening would not be business as usual, hinting at plans to put several of the nominees on the spot. On Thursday, the Senate received the president's request for the confirmation of the nominees, one of the administration's largest diplomatic submissions yet. The request, read during plenary by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, contained 2 lists: 34 career ambassadors and high commissioners and 31 non-career nominees, and was subsequently referred to the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs with a 1-week deadline to conclude screenings and submit its report. The staggered submissions appear to be part of the administration's phased strategy to fill critical diplomatic positions ahead of an anticipated major shakeup in Nigeria's foreign missions. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has assured the global community that Nigeria remains committed to promoting peace, harmony, and prosperity across borders through strengthened partnerships to address emerging challenges. The president made the remarks after receiving letters of credence from 17 ambassadors and 4 high commissioners at the council chamber of the State House. According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, President Tinubu urged the diplomats to engage meaningfully with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on all areas of shared interest and mutual benefits, emphasizing his open door policy. He stressed that the government remains focused on strengthening democratic institutions, driving economic reforms, and creating an enabling environment for investment, innovation, and sustainable development. The ambassador of Japan, Suzuki Hideo, who spoke on behalf of other diplomats, described the presentation of letters of credence in Nigeria as both historic and remarkable, noting the country's contributions to economic prosperity and political stability in ECOWAS and across Africa. Away from that, the federal government has moved to calm rising tensions among road contractors, assuring that all outstanding payments will be cleared before December 2025, following days of protest by contractors over mounting debts and stalled project financing. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, who gave the assurance during the reopening of a repaired curfew flyover in Nasarawa State, said President Bola Tinubu had acknowledged the debt backlog and approved the constitution of a special committee to verify and settle all outstanding claims. Contractors handling federal road projects had in the last few days staged protests at the Ministry of Finance, alleging prolonged non-payment for completed and ongoing works. But responding to their concerns, Umahi said protests were no longer necessary, insisting that President Tinubu had directed that all verified debts be paid within days. In an unprecedented move, Umahi disclosed that the ministry had formally invited the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to audit all ongoing and completed federal road projects across the 36 states and the FCT. Now, the Senate has expressed grave alarm over a fast-spreading lead poisoning crisis in Ogijo, a densely populated community straddling the boundary between Ikorodu, Lagos, and Ogun East Senatorial District. The motion, jointly sponsored by Senators Mokail Adetokunbo Abiru, Lagos East, and Benga Daniel, Ogun East, was brought on the matters of urgent public importance, with lawmakers citing scientifically verified reports linking the crisis to used lead-acid battery recycling factories operating in the area for years. According to the Senate, residents have suffered persistent headaches, abdominal pains, memory loss, seizures, and developmental delays in children, symptoms strongly associated with chronic lead exposure. while contamination had been confirmed in blood samples and soil tests conducted by independent investigators. The chamber noted that the federal government has already begun clampdowns with the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, shutting down 7 battery recycling factories and temporarily halting lead ingot exportation pending safety investigations. Following extensive deliberations, the Senate ordered a nationwide crackdown, urging continued factory closures, export suspensions, prosecution of violators, deployment of emergency medical teams, and comprehensive environmental remediation across the Gije and other affected communities. The Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed December 8 for the hearing of a motion expletive filed by the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, seeking to be transferred from the Sokoto Correctional Facility. Kanu, on November 20, 2025, was found guilty of all 7 counts of terrorism charges preferred against him by the federal government and sentenced to life imprisonment. Following his sentence, Kanu was taken to the Sokoto Correctional Facility after the court expressed concern for his safety, noting that the Kuje Correctional Facility might not be suitable for him due to previous prison breaks recorded there. At Thursday's proceedings, the trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, fixed the date for the hearing after declining to give audience to Kanu's younger brother, Emmanuel Kanu, who announced his appearance for the IPOB leader despite not being a lawyer. The judge, insisting that only a legal practitioner can move the motion, advised Emmanuel to either engage a lawyer or approach the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria for representation. And that's Developing Stories. Thank you very much for watching, but stay with us as Perspectives continues. Good morning. All right, so welcome back. It's still Perspectives on OSRC television. That's Developing Stories that have been taken by our caster. Back to Perspectives, and we still have our seasoned journalist and a media practitioner with us in person of Akinwumi Abodude, where we're looking at Tinubu seeking confirmation of ambassadorial list. And before we took the break to go to the newsroom, he was talking about the competence, credibility, and of character of those that has been nominated for the ambassadorial work. And he says we should take away compy, which is the competence.
No, I didn't say you should take away competence. What I said was that competence is neither here nor there.
Okay.
For all, because none of them has that experience. So when you're talking of competence, you must look at the person's experience.
Okay. On that job.
Especially the non-career ambassadors. Most of them, if you look at the preponderance of them, you will discover that they are actually people who have loud mouths. That's the truth. But that may also work so that you have loud mouths for your country in another country. But let's look at the other issues. Look, let me tell you something. I started my intervention one key thing. What kind of advice is the president getting? Who is he getting the advice from? That's the truth. But let's go to the issues, and I'll come back to that very shortly. Now let's go to the issue of credibility, which we were actually discussing before we went on break. Okay, so credibility. There are some of them that are credible. you cannot take it away from a few of them. And I'm deliberately avoiding mentioning names. But you see, I want us to dwell on character. And that is one thing that will stand the good eggs
out from the bad ones.
The most important.
Character. Because you see, at a certain age in life, a man's character cannot be changed. That is why you see someone like Reno, who you mentioned, and who virtually everybody has said shouldn't be on that list. That is why you see a lot of people criticizing his appointment. But you see, I also believe that so many of them, irrespective of the kind of character they have, the countries where they will be posted to will shape their character by force. It is true that you cannot break a fish jatotika.
Yes, that's right.
Break it.
But especially does it dry. Or if you bend it rather, it will break.
Yes.
So yes, but you see, you must couple. For those of us on the streets, that's how we put it. You must couple when you get to some countries. If they post it to North Korea, but let me also say this, and that is where the problem of the quality of advice comes in. This ambassadorial list, I insist, was put together in a hurry.
Okay.
And that is the problem with the list.
And you're saying that based on the caliber of people on that list?
People, the character of some of them. That's not how to lead a country. The president is careless with a lot of important things.
Okay, so what mechanism should be put in place?
There's no mechanism. There's no accountability anything. Look, don't talk about it. When you look, it will whether they will be accountable, whether they will do well, is a function of their character.
That's key.
And that is why I still insist that the president needs to do the right thing, and the elders, elders of this country need to tell the president the truth every time. It was not right under any circumstance for the president to have delayed the appointment of ambassadors up till now. How do you explain it?
But have you also thought about it from this angle, that what if it is intentionally structured to enhance the strength of the political 2027 election?
Does that make any sense?
Because now looking at the category of people, you said something
that's an advantage to him, not to Nigeria.
Exactly. And that is why ADC came out and said the president is acting more like a political candidate than a president. So what do you have to say about that?
Look, let me tell you the truth. My opinion, and this is my opinion. Okay. The president is doing more of politics than governance.
See?
That's the truth. But it's okay. If you can do a good dose of governance and add politics to it, it's fine. But every politician is always concerned about elections. But you see, when you do political correctness for everything, it has a lot of problem on your capacity to govern very well. Look, the president, I cannot, and I'm sure that no serious-minded Nigerian will ever be able to explain the rationale behind the president delaying the ambassadorial list. Okay, so now that Donald Trump has threatened, what has he done?
Yes, and I don't like the fact
you mentioned earlier that probably is to save costs.
Which cost? Even when we didn't have money, do you know the volume of money that states are getting now? Do you know the volume of money that comes accrues to the federal government now? I don't think there's any precedent in this country's history that has delayed the appointment. In fact, appointment of ambassadors is a very, very important thing.
It is.
Because your foreign missions must be strong.
And I don't like the fact that it's coming when, President Trump...
It is not coming when... No, don't say you don't like the... Let me tell you the truth.
The initiative.
Let me tell you the truth. You see, when you are not proactive as a leader, when you listen to unnecessary gossip, when you are too political in leadership, it affects your judgment on how to deal with issues.
Okay, Mr. Akinwumi, what do you think the president can do, to change all of this? I mean, in what way do you need he needs to, make a change, adjust,
it's
correct?
Late, my dear. It's late. It's late. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's late. We're already 2 years down the line into the administration. More than 2 years, in fact. In fact, this is We are going to 3 years already.
Yeah.
Now, by the time, if in fact, unlike what we used to know, politicking does not start for another election until the 4th year of an administration.
Yeah.
It has already started. And so what do you want to do again? It's late.
Okay.
If the president returns as president, then we can be talking of setting agenda for him. But this one, agenda has failed completely.
All right. Let's look
There's
at
no agenda you can set for
let's
him
look
again.
at the ambassadors nominees now. Do you think, because we also know that the problem of this country is security, do you think they can play any role in addressing security challenges?
Yes.
Through international cooperation?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
So the yes.
Okay, so let me first of all commend the president for nominating the new chief of defense staff and ensuring that he's a retired general. At critical moments in the life of any country, especially when you have security challenges, you need to bring all your generals to the table.
Yes.
And say, okay, how do we deal with it? So bringing the new chief of defense staff on board is a good one. Will the ambassadors be able to help with our security issues? Yes, very small. Yes, 10%. No, 90%. Now, I'll tell you the yes. The yes is that, okay, they can begin to talk to countries, especially those who are posted to countries that have comparative advantage in security, to actually help Nigeria. Unlike what Trump is suggesting. No, he didn't suggest, though. Like what Trump threatened to do. He said our attack will be quick, swift, and sweet. I'm sure that. I'm sure that.
The sweetness in
it. Okay, but the thing is this: when we have ambassadors, they can talk to countries like America and say, "Please help us with equipment.
Okay.
Help us with this.
Yeah.
Help us with intelligence."
Yes.
The worst problem Nigeria has is poor intelligence gathering.
Yeah, I agree.
Countries like America, and a few others can help us with intelligence gathering. Okay, so to that extent, the ambassadors can help. But honestly, there's nothing they can do. As a matter of fact, and that's why I said a lot of them will just sit their butts on their chairs in their countries and be enjoying champagne. That's what I see. They won't do anything. Because going back to the issue of character, we know them. Now, so to a very large extent, they can't do anything about our security challenges. What they can do is help us with foreign direct investment.
That's how.
They can help us get the business community in other countries to bring their investment to this country. But the question we must ask is, will you bring your money to Nigeria with the level of security?
Yeah,
that's another problem. It is going to be difficult for them to do even because the real responsibility of an ambassador or a high commissioner, two, essentially. One, to actually clean up your image abroad. Secondly, to attract people to help you develop your country. Those are the two things they are there to do.
All right.
But as I said, Adura
Lamafiona. Well, all right, Akilbi, we have to let you go at this point because our time is fast. Penny has spoken a lot about...
But please, let me quickly add something again. I beg the elders of this nation, tell the president the truth. It doesn't matter. Even if he doesn't give you patronage, not giving you patronage will not kill you. Tell him what the truth is preaching the people. The people are suffering. You must deal with the issues. You must not allow people like Gumi to be roaming the streets anyhow and be talking the kind of talk he's talking.
Gumi is already singing a new song.
Which song?
Yes, he is.
Our guest has been Akinwumi Abodide, a seasoned journalist and media practitioner.
There's no season there, just public
analyst.
I'm talking like Rendo.
Thank you very much for being our guest today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go to our trending stories for today. Go nowhere. right, so welcome back. Going to our trendy stories today. We'll begin with this one. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in General Christopher Musa retired as the new Minister of Defense. Musa arrived at the forecourt of the villa at about 3:47 p.m. and was ushered into the president's office. Musa, a former chief of defense staff, took the oath of office yesterday at the Senate House, Abuja. According to report, the Senate on Wednesday confirmed Musa as Minister of Defense following a rigorous 5-hour screening. During the session, the former CDS was grilled over recent security lapses, including the controversial withdrawal of troops from Government Comprehensive Girls Secondary School, Magam, in Kebbi State, shortly before the schoolgirls were abducted on November 7th. So it's done. We now have a new Minister of Defense.
Yeah, we do.
Person of retired General Christopher Musa.
I'm sure the president is excited about this. But then let's talk about what happened when he was, when he was there. And then some asking him to take a bow and some asking him to, asking him questions. It's screening. Screening, yes. That's what it's called. It is called screening. So I don't think there should be the take a bow thing. And then for him saying, he's eager to work, we're expecting so much from him. I would not expect that he should say anything for now. He should probably go to the drawing board. Do the things that he ought to do. Thoroughly, due diligence, and because we've had it in past when people come out and say, I'm going to do this, I will do that. This is what you should expect, and so we have too many expectations from the person, and in the end, it's like a jinx. Something there's a twist. And we really can't explain anymore. But I wish him all the best. Yes, he has a good record. Yes,
track record.
Yes, and that's a good one. But coming out to say this, and then people are already, asking him what he would do about bringing back the girls and all. It's too soon. We know that we're expecting something from him, but then let's leave him to go back, do the work, and research, intelligence gathering, and all, whatever it takes to win. Let him do it rather than come out very fast and say, I can do this.
Yes, just like she said, this is not the time for him to come out and say, I promise to do this. I promise to do that.
Yeah.
Which he has already been doing, by the way, because on our dailies that we read this morning, you can see a lot of, I am going to do this, I will bring this back, I will bring Nigeria a safe space and make it, a lot of things. But then I love the fact that you said, this is not the time for that, even though he has started it. But he can still take it back and go back to the drawing board. See, what are these things that we should do? Where are the lapses? What do we need? Just like our analyst said, we still need a lot of intelligence.
Yeah.
Technological and also manpower, like in terms of sophisticated weapons. Now, these are the things that they need to go back and say, what can we do to ensure that we have what it takes to even fight this thing before coming out to say, we will fight this thing. If you come out and you keep saying, we will do this without making those necessary efforts and putting those necessary things in that you need, it's just going to be all talks and nothing, no results.
I'm guessing his talk is coming on the side of the fact that he's been in the system for 39 years. He was in the system for 39 years.
Yes.
And he knows what he needs
Remy,
to make it work.
Remy,
and he's already demanding for some things, especially when in terms of equipment as well that he needs to work with. So he's not new to the system.
Yes, as much as I agree with you, he's not new to the system. But then you cannot know too much. You cannot, because and then the way these people operate changes every time, per time. So when you were there, the system, the way they operate, they were operating then might be quite different from the way they are operating now. So intelligence gathering is really important. It's important.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Yeah, it's okay. I like the fact that you were saying he needs to observe.
You know what they call overconfy?
You make overconfy no killer. But the guy is good.
The guy is good, but make overconfy.
Yes.
Yes. And then let's not put pressure on him. Let's not put pressure on him too. Yes. Because those pressure could make him say all of those things.
The National Assembly on Wednesday called for the public naming and prosecution of terrorism financiers in Nigeria as the federal government explores measures to address the growing insecurity across the country. Both the Senate and House of Representatives pushed for the exposure of terrorism financiers during their plenary as a way of addressing the security crisis facing the country. The Senate also, demanded capital punishment for kidnappers, banditries, the murderers and all that, and anyone who finances, enables or provides information to them, as lawmakers debated amendments to the 2022 Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. The proposal, sponsored by the leader of the Senate, Okoyemi Bamidele, seeks to classify kidnapping, hostage-taking, and related crimes as terrorism, giving security agencies wider powers to track, disrupt, and prosecute criminal networks across the country.
The first question is, recently they said the victims have been, they've retrieved them, they are back, they are home, and then they didn't tell us what happened to the abductors.
Yep.
Now, this is the first thing. Now, before they start talking about, we should name what did they call them? The sponsors and the financiers. We already know that they are not even being honest with us. At first, now people were abducted and they were released. There was nothing said. It's just that they've been released. Nothing was said about who are the financiers, were they caught, when they were caught, what happened to them, who were the abductors, what did we recover from them. Now, if you can't even give us this information, then how can you even find their sponsors? So that means the necessary things are not being done. If you don't take the necessary steps, you would not even get to that point where you get to uncover who their sponsors or financiers is.
Well, ever since we've been having this security issues,
yes,
it's just given me, it's like we are always finding a missing puzzle somewhere, just like you've said. Yes, look at it. Just all that you have said now. The other day, while we're here, we said something about that. You cannot say you've released the girls, all that you have said. We cannot say you've released the girls without giving us the full information. And now, why is it that it is now when Nigerians are raising bros, talking about it, perhaps they know them. Why wait till this time for you to come out to say you will release their names? So does it mean you've been protecting them all along? Does that mean that questions that are coming to my mind? Does that mean that you know them all along and you've been protecting them and you never said, you didn't say anything? So it got to this point. Why now? Why is it that immediately you did not, you didn't flag these people to say these are the people and, question, Why is it that we've not seen any arrests so far?
Okay, well, the good thing is it's coming. The willpower. For me, the government must have the willpower to want to do this, to want to fight this menace. And if the government is already saying,
we'll give names, we'll bring out.
No, you see, we said something earlier that lots of people are trying to be diplomatic. And I feel right now you're trying to be diplomatic. Now, what if, just like you said, is it now that we are actually, the Nigerians are actually crying out, what happened to these people? What if they are just only giving us words to hold on to?
And Remy, I feel
we've heard lots of stuff
things should not go bad before one take action.
And it's not just, they are not taking actions. This is not action. This is just them coming out to say, this is what we want to do.
Yes.
Actions have not been taken. So I would even say they are taking actions. So I would say, what if they
come after the words?
They are just giving us.
They have woken up to the fact that this has to be done.
And I hope they will. I hope they will.
I hope it's not just mere words. I hope it's not mere words.
Let's talk about our focus for today, Aaron.
Yeah.
For 2 years, nothing was done. But like we said, it was established, and we all know it took Trump. And now we have nominees, ambassadorial nominees, and very soon they will take up the positions.
You know what they say?
This will be done. Atlayo, let's move on.
It's patient time. So
it's nice.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Popular Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has intensified his commentary on Nigeria's insecurity crisis, posting a fairy prayer on social media yesterday that calls for divine wrath upon those who profit from the nation's bloodshed. In a Facebook post yesterday titled, "My Prayer Today," Sheikh Gumi asked God to expose and punish all individuals and entities, foreign or citizen, who initiated, who sponsored, or benefit from the insecurity and bloodbath in Nigeria. Well,
I come in peace.
Yes.
Now, just when the federal government... No, that's what I said, I come in peace. Just when the federal government said they will start giving out the names of financiers, supporters, and what have you, then Gumi is coming out. We already know what he's used to saying.
Yeah.
We already know what he represents in the social space. And right now, he's representing something else other than what he is known for. Don't you feel like there is something? Although I said I come in peace.
You come in peace.
Yes.
Before you take your reaction, let me take some
It's all right. It's all right. Go on.
This is the Indeed Dolapo says, "Can devil wage war against devil?" Tumishe Jimson said, "The fear of America is the beginning of wisdom." Nation Maven says, "Why is everyone suspecting him as one of the sponsors?" Another one says, that's coming from Comrade Husseini Aliyu Suleja. He says, "Rotational power in Nigeria is like an unwritten constitution. Virtually the North has agreed, and particularly the Southwest has welcomed the absolute concept." Well, it goes on and on. One more. This one said, Abdul No Case Wari said, "I am not a supporter of Gumi, but you should all try to check about his history."
Really?
Nobody said he's a
Really?
sponsor.
But Gumi said they're fighting for a good cause. For a good cause.
Based on what he has said, this is not them say. This is
taking lives.
Yes.
For a good cause.
You understand? He came out and said these things. They are proof. They are facts to even back up that he said this. Nobody is putting allegations on him. So now you cannot come out now.
You've been advocating
you've been advocating, even being used as a medium for negotiations. And now you're coming out and saying something else just after they talked about US wants to
exposing them.
They expose financiers and supporters and people agitating.
It doesn't also mean that it's praying for Nigeria. Doesn't mean if they are going to release his name will not be there. If really he's one of them, it will take it out.
So he doesn't even need to come out this.
I'm just guessing.
He doesn't need to. Really, for someone to see, I'm going to see. For someone, I won't forget that they're fighting for a good cause. What good cause can come out of this?
And
all of this.
I remember I said the coffins were empty coffins at their time.
You know,
they were not dead bodies. All right, moving on. The Senate, through the ad hoc committee investigating the collapse of Safe School Initiative, has summoned the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edo, to appear before it next week, Tuesday. Summoning of the Minister of Finance at the ad hoc committee, headed by Senator Ojekalu from Abia North, for appearance followed the adoption of his work plan during maiden meeting held yesterday. Other critical stakeholders of the collapse initially slated for summoning are the Minister of Education, Tuji Alausa, the CDS, Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Dr. Mohammed Abubakar Audi, and representatives of school proprietors. Briefing journalists at the inaugural sitting on Wednesday, Chairman of the ad hoc committee vowed that the Senate would unveil all issues surrounding the initiative's implementation and ensure full accountability. So,
keyword, full accountability.
That's call for accountability, transparency.
I love that.
Accountability
and transparency. How have we seen that in the system so far?
But then it's no.
You know, earlier you also said something that we've seen cases where people are being caught. Now investigations start to go on, and then we don't get to hear anything. They are just let. It's not. We don't even know what goes on again.
You mirrored my mind
again. The
whole
thing will just die down. We've seen cases like that. So I'm not going to say so much, but I would actually urge that the federal government this time really take us along. They are the ones saying accountability and transparency throughout the investigation.
Yeah.
So let's just take their word.
If the government want to work, let them work. See, there is a mistrust here.
Exactly.
They need to do more so we can trust them. I hope this is not just because when they say call for accountability and transparency, I hope it's not just on the lips. I hope it's not just on paper. I hope it's not just, you know, what they give them what they want to hear so that we can be. That's
Give
it.
them what they want to hear.
And we also know that a lot of schools have been closed down because of the insecurity in Kwara,
Niger State and all
the you know, volatile areas. I don't know how that is with what they are saying, but we also pray, like you said, we are hoping that there should be transparency and that whoever is caught in the web should face the full wrath of the law. It is very, very important. We really need to put that in mind. Okay, moving on. Let's take this. That's the one that concerns Natasha and Two-Face. The footage from yesterday's event. There was an event held yesterday. It splits opinion with some praising the video. We want to see the video being played where the two lovebirds were, you know, all lovey-dovey again, and it's as if the shout and the concern of citizens about them, it's like we just talk our own. These ones, they are in love, they are in love, and it's, you know, if we can lay our hands on that video, please let's put it on air. But then with some people praising their closeness as true love, and others joking about their grip or the back carrying. You know, this comes alongside claims from Tubaba's ex-manager that Natasha controls his finances and career, plus unverified accusations of drug involvement and alleged family police petition. Tubaba urged fans to avoid their marital issues, noting rumors have endangered Natasha's safety while she faces a state assembly summon over misconduct claims.
Remy?
You know what they say about husband and wife matter?
You know, put mouth.
Because the whole internet went out. Is it Daddy Freeze? He even did interviews. A lot of people turned on their ring lights, set their camera, started doing. You understand?
No put mouth.
And now they are out here. They are holding each other, hugging each other, going to concerts together, and all of that. So, but
I want to say something.
Yes.
Either it's true or not. You see, you cannot be suffering and ask me to be part of it. It is still you who is, you know,
save yourself.
You save yourself. You're the one suffering, not me. So you cannot, that's it. So if you cover it, you're suffering and you're covering it.
You're covering. And also that he said he left Annie to find peace.
And now he's peace.
Natasha.
And so peace of mind, I don't know how your peace of mind, somebody you said is your peace of mind will have you arrested. Peace of mind, the arrest person.
Arrest?
Peace of mind, the arrest person.
You know, they dish out peace in different ways. Maybe that's the way the peace is.
Not just, that's not the first time.
And arrested
that's not the first time. That is not, that's not the first time.
Natasha saying that she's not big on her own. She's a medical doctor, and of course she's a doctor. I don't know now if it's medical. She says she's a doctor, and of course a member of the House of Assembly.
Yes, in
and that she holds her own side well, and so she cannot allow anybody to control her.
Yes,
you know. I also saw that allegedly.
Well,
no, but we also heard that she's been called by the
yes, I saw the video too. Yes, from the house,
you know, dragging the assembly's name into mud. We don't know how far that has also gone.
Yes, they are expecting that she will react to that.
Then, you know, I wish the way the whole thing cuts people, Nigerians. There was also a video I watched where an influencer calling Two-Face a national treasure, that he doesn't know his own worth. If he knows his own worth, he won't say, let me just stay where I am.
I agree with the person.
I
agree. I agree with that influencer. But then, garbage in, garbage out. See, sometimes, in fact, they say, karma these days don't take so long. Karma is no longer patient. Karma has no chill pill. I agree. Garbage and garbage are what you give, what you get. You understand? What you give is what you get. Because national treasure or no national treasure, you will be accountable for whatever you do. However you want, he's an adult. However he wants his life to be, however he wants to run his life, is left to him. We can lead, it's just a little influence that we have on him.
Yes. You know, in all of this, doing all this saga
it's
with
a beautiful
Natasha
story.
And all
I like
of
the
that.
story.
Do you know what I don't know if I should say Annie Macaulay.
Annie Macaulay.
Do you know what she did? Of course, she said when they separated, she changed her name to Annie Macaulay.
Yeah.
But immediately, this whole saga with Natasha,
she returned. She
changed.
Yes, Annie DBI. Yes, she said number one. She said number one.
You know, it's just that. And now she didn't even say ex-husband. Now she should say my husband. So I don't think it's official. The
you know, somebody said something. I was reading comments underneath the video, and somebody said something which I don't know.
That if he comes back to beg her, she'll come back.
Come back
because just imagine
that's how love is,
drunken love.
In drunken love, yes, that she will. And somebody said Annie will be somewhere praying for him to come back.
Because just
looking through the windows, if he's coming, if he's on his way or not. So I'm just like, I will go back to what you said. Husband and wife matter. Not put mouth.
I also saw a write-up of the daughter in London who broke down in tears after hearing what happened to her dad with Natasha. She said that her father is a cool gentleman, and of course he doesn't deserve what is going that. But they begged him not to leave, to stay. That what's the person like using the devil is
better than the
far
angel,
better than the
that you don't.
You want to go and meet out there, and he said he's in love. And so
I'm not even going to take sides.
Really
I'm not going to take sides.
But some people have also said, yes, Natasha is crazy the way she's acting right now. Some said probably it's as a result of her stage, being pregnant. That maybe it's all of those
pregnancy
hormones that is working on her.
But she claimed that she accused Two-Face of shouting, raising his voice and shouting every time when he talks to her.
You know what she said actually wants me to believe what someone said, that it's because it's as if Two-Face is outshining her, in the sense that whenever they go out there, people shout Two-Face more.
Who knows her before?
You don't know her.
That's the thing. You are just only a member of
the
House of Assembly.
That is as if Two-Face is taking the shine off her, as if there was a shine before or something. So Two-Face is a figure.
I really do not care
about... It's just like talking about Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Yes, the husband is prominent, but I'm sure a lot of people got to know about the husband because Natasha has been trending.
Yes.
It is just normal.
And as I said, I really do not care about Natasha. It could be the case of two narcissists together.
Exactly. So
it's not about being silent, quiet, or being gentle.
A man tells the story of a lady who came from Abuja to visit him in Asaba, only for him to realize she has lined up 4 visits for 4 other guys, all of whom had already sent her money. He said he is at least lucky one. He was the first one she chose to see. That's the video.
He came all the way from Abuja to visit me in Asaba. We have a good time. In the midnight around 2 o'clock, this girl was watching a movie with her phone. She slept off while the movie is still playing. So I noticed that, so I now pick up her phone and I wanted to off the phone and keep. A message pop up. If you truly are you in Asaba now? Let me come and pick you. Around 2 o'clock, are you in Asaba now? Can I come and pick you? I open the message. I look at the message. I start going through this girl text message. Papa, guess what I saw? That we are 4 guys already that is expecting this girl to come to Asaba. And all of them send money for her transportation. I'm just being lucky that I'm the first person according to the text message. So the other guy was keeping the guy pending. He told me in the morning she will rush somewhere. She will rush to salon to go and do her hair, her nails. That her nails is bad. I look at the nail. Nail is not that bad. He said the nail they pain her. She want to remove it. She want to use that opportunity to go and see the other guy. The other two is staying across express. She keep them pending. Give them the next day. The other one the other day. So this girl was controlling 4 men. And she come to Asaba all the way from Abuja, giving me hope that na me she can't see. Why na 4 guys? Now we dey. If you no fear woman, nothing will fear you. If you no fear woman, you see woman, fear woman. And if you see how I prepared for this girl coming, I did everything. See the
gender.
If you no fear woman,
you know, I think
this is my gender.
Clearly, he met with a businesswoman. He thought he was actually seeing like someone serious he wants to settle down with. Because how do you take transport fare? And funny enough, do you know that they can sue? They can actually sue him. I think I read something like that. You don't take. How do you take? That's this.
They can.
Yeah, that's this it. You took transport from 4 different men, and then you told them, oh, you told us I'm coming to Asaba, and he thought you were coming to see him alone. On getting there, you told him, oh, your nails is bad, you need to go to the salon to fix it. Meanwhile, you have an appointment with number 2. And then you also texted number 3 that, next tomorrow I'll come and see him. So definitely when she's with number 2, she would also look for something and tell number 2 that, oh, I need to go and do something. Or probably tell him that, oh, she's even leaving Asaba. And you made them, but then what is also happening to her?
This is my gender. At like, oh yeah.
You know, in as much as we're saying this, we also need to talk about morality.
Yes. I like that angle where you're coming from. But at the same time, Isasa, now one thing they make one thing happen. If you don't deal with that thing, I'm sorry I have to say this in pidgin. If you don't, because it's a street pass for pidgin, if you don't deal with that kind of situation every time, you have to outsmart that situation. Sometimes, not every time. Okay. Yes, you were talking about morals and all. You never can tell what the girl has been through. You know, the guys that are, yes, you never can tell. So
it's not an excuse. I don't subscribe.
Some girls.
No matter what you've been through, this is not morally upright.
No, it's not. It's
For
not.
God's sake,
it's not.
You in the same state.
Really?
You left all the way from Abuja, and you already have an appointment with 4 guys.
I want to say, please sue this girl. Sue her.
And,
sue her. But she will be. But maybe she will be a good candidate for the ambassador.
What would she be nominated for? What?
You know,
what about the people there?
Morals. I like the angle you came.
Yeah.
But for me, like you also said earlier, she's a business girl, and business girls ply their trade like this. They don't care. This horse is good. She was caught actually, but it's painful that the guy already put his mind and open up. Obviously, he felt, I don't see person.
Yeah.
Wife material
and all that. You know, for you to give a girl transport all the way from Abuja to come see in Delta State is a whole lot. But the guy's heart was broken. Let's end with this beautiful one. It says former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he feels safe in Nigeria, contrary to the negative reports he had read before his visit. Johnson stated this yesterday in Owerri, the Imo State capital, while delivering a speech at the Imo State's Economy Summit 2025 hosted by Governor Uzodinma. He said, I watched the video this one before I left home. He even mentioned the fact that he had good whiskey. They gave you good whiskey.
I did as well.
Okay, and all that.
You know, this is what we're talking about, where our analyst spoke about when the elders in the society are lying.
You know what they say? Don't wash your dirty linen in public. So I just feel that's the case.
Okay.
I hope
he's safe.
Huh?
The way he said
No,
I feel perfectly.
You know why I said. You know why I said. You know why I said.
If he's not saying, you won't be able to come out and talk.
Remy,
maybe by now they're already demanding ransom.
Remy, do you know why I said do not wash your dirty linen in public? We sure know how to powder this thing well, package it, and then the man is feeling good, feeling himself.
Yeah, but it's
maybe
good
based
news.
on what he's experiencing.
It's good news coming
Mm-hmm.
from such a person, for a former prime minister, the caliber of this kind of person. But then, let's not be deceived.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because we in this country,
we need help.
We know that all is not totally well. It's not totally well. So we need to know that. Yes, where he is, that part is having fun, is okay, it's all that.
But deep down, something is happening.
Something is happening. Yeah. That's why we are saying our government must rise to the occasion to make sure that Nigeria is safe again. As Layo, we need to round up.
Yes, we've got to go. And recently, we just commemorated the World AIDS Day. Yes, I hope that we still have that consciousness in us about this. The sensitization that we've been having so far, so good. I hope we are still keeping, the practice that to keep safe, please. Let us keep safe out there. Right. And in security-wise as well, please, when you see something, say something. Yes.
I just urge the federal government to be transparent and accountable in all their dealings, because that's what we need to build trust in them.
Yeah.
All right. Going by what you said, recently also the World Disability Day was also celebrated. So please, let's reach out to those who are not as able as we are in all areas. Thank you very much for being a part of our work today. It was quite an interest. So if you get Wambe, you are free to go. We don't release you now to go. Hi, my name is Remy Alice. Special thanks to everyone who took part in this program today, especially to our guest, our public analyst, Akilmi Abodude, and to the whole crew. It's until we meet next week. Bye-bye.